everyone, I'm Katie, also known as Fit Chef Katy, and today I'm going to bring you some healthy choices for a healthy you. Now I get questions all the time about, Katie, what do you cook at home? Katie, I'm so busy, what can I do to be healthy and cook at home? And it's busy out there. You're all busy, whether you're a mom, you're a business professional, whether you're a student. So I'm going to give you some really easy and fast ways to be healthy. So today I'm making a couple different kinds of chips. And the first one I'm making is going to replace your regular tortilla chips. So everything starts in small baby steps. Small changes are going to make a big difference. So for your diet, remember that. I'm starting off with some sprouted tortilla, whole grain tortillas. Now if you want to just buy whole wheat tortillas, that's fine. But something I love about sprouted is that it also has high protein. So keep that in mind. And anything that's sprouted is living. So that's another great thing about sprouted foods. Now I've got your regular tortilla, the whole thing. I'm actually going to use some olive oil spray. Now I like to use these little mistos only because I can control the oil that I'm putting on. So there's no chemicals involved here. You give it a little pump, a couple little pumps from your biceps, and you're going to spray. What you're doing is creating kind of a sticky surface because next you're going to add your flavoring. And one of the things I love Trader Joe's. You're going to hear all about Trader Joe's throughout my video segments. But I love the chili, garlic, and smoked sea salt. It's great and it's fresh. Little pepper cracker here. So I'm going to put that all on top here. I always do a little fresh cracked pepper as well. Even my kids eat cracked pepper. And even a little sprinkling of Maldon sea salt. And we'll have a whole nother segment on salt because that's a big deal, what you're putting in your body. Get out your monster pizza cutter here. That way I never lose my pizza cutter. And I'm just going to cut it into segments. Real simple. So it's going to be the size of a regular chip, right? And what I'm going to be doing later is I'm going to have a segment on salsas, how to make fresh and easy and fast salsas. Now I have my oven behind me and that's preheated to 400 degrees. I'm going to pull out my jelly roll pan and you're going to see this great little sheet on here. Okay, this is called an exopat, and you get these at different locations. Target has them. Get them online. They're a little bit cheaper. They're almost like parchment paper. They're reusable. They're user-friendly. Things don't stick, and I'm going to put these on here. I'm going to bake this at 400 degrees for about 11 minutes. Just take a peek at it. You don't want it to get too crunchy, but you definitely want to make sure that it gets nice and brown. Now I'm going to save half of this because I'm going to make another chip for you that's even healthier for you. And we're going to be making kale chips today. So if you haven't gotten into the groove, you need to start to buy kale. Now kale is a very dark leafy green, and it can be a little bit hard for some people to eat. It's a little bit on the chewy side. The texture can be tough. So that's what I like about making them into chips. It creates this light, crispy, almost melt in your mouth texture. Now once again, I went to Trader Joe's and I bought the pre-cut, pre-washed package. Now you're going to just dump that out in your bowl. And you're going to want to pick through it because you're going to see a lot of these stems and those are not yummy to eat. So just pick through and kind of peel off anything. And again, whenever we create these seasonings, I always want you to think of creative flavors that you can add. When you think of flavorings, they're fat-free. So any salts, any dried herbs, fresh herbs, that's all good for you, and that's going to be fat-free flavors. So for my kale today, I'm actually going to add a seasoning that's probably new to you. It's kind of new to me. I've heard about it in the health world, and to be honest, the health world can be very intimidating. There's a lot to know. But I went and bought some brewer's yeast, and brewer's yeast, you know, if you don't know, ask people at the stores, read the packaging. Brewer's yeast is great. It's got, I'm going to read it for you. It's got rich in selenium, chromium, potassium, magnesium, sodium, copper, iron, zinc, and 2 tablespoons has 14 grams of protein. I like to focus on protein and fiber when I'm choosing my foods. So again, we've got a great solution here. A little alternative to salt. You could put this on chicken for breading. You could also put this on popcorn for seasoning. So I've got a cute little California olive oil here that I got from a vendor. When you go and sample foods, ask for samples, little take-home sample packages. You know, everyone out there has got some great products nowadays and they need to showcase them. So I always ask. No harm in that. So I'm just going to kind of mix this Getting everything a little bit wet, a little bit oily, so that our brewer's yeast can stick to it. So we get a nice shiny gloss to it, little runaway kale here. That's why I have a nice big bowl, because I can definitely be messy in the kitchen. That is very easy for me. I'm going to sprinkle that on, a nice healthy dosing. You know, and someone's going to say, well, Katie, how much did you put on? You know, that's the beauty of cooking. It's kind of like a practice and see, kind of like exercise. The more you do it, the better you get. And there are times in my life when I haven't been cooking as much and I'm not in cooking shape, I like to call it, but I just need to get back in and practice. All right, so I've got that on there. You know, I'm probably going to add a little bit of the salt and the chili. I like a little spice in whatever I eat. If you have just plain chili flakes, you can put those on as well. At this point, I could put ground mustard, I could put curry powder, turmeric. You could get really creative with this. And I'm going to add this onto my jelly roll pan. Now the big thing with kale and even the other chips, don't overlap them. If you do overlap them, they'll start to steam and they won't cook. We want them to be nice and crispy. And I'm just going to do that so I can put it in. Because they're both cooking at 400 degrees for about the exact same time. So it's fine. I'm going to put that in my pre-baked, preheated oven. And then you're going to see, I've already got my chips here. I'm going to show you what the kale looks like. So here is the kale. It definitely shrinks in size. And I'm going to let these dry exactly on the pan. If you start to push them all together, kind of like I did the chips, they'll continue to steam and they'll get soft. But I want that light, crispy flavor. And you can hear that. I don't know if you can, but I can hear that little crunch in there. And when I store them, I'm just going to store them in an airtight container. Sometimes I leave the lid off, but I try to eat them within the day. It doesn't yield as much as the bag gives you. So make a whole bag at one time so you can eat them all throughout the day, share them with your friends at work, help them to make some healthy choices. And then you've also got the chips here. So on our next segment, we are going to make some avocado and black bean salsa. Super easy, really healthy, and you're going to taste them with our chips. We'll see you then.